Motorsport TV Live, brought to you by Motorsport Tickets, the dedicated motorsport experiences provider.
Hello and welcome to Motorsport TV Live. I'm Rachel Downey, bringing you all the latest motorsport news. We speak to the Jota Sport WEC team as they compete for LMP2 title honours this weekend. Formula One's finances receive a post-pandemic boost. Nico Hulkenberg explains why he won't be racing in IndyCar next season. All those stories and more coming up here on Motorsport TV Live. The final round of the World Endurance Championship takes place this weekend with the 8 hours of Bahrain. Jota Sport are in the running for LMP2 honours, and we've been catching up with the team as they prepare for the race. Sean Galal and Tom Blomqvist will be joined by Stoffel van Dorn in the number 28 car. And Blomqvist told us how the team need to do something they've not done so far this season, and that's win a race.
Since the start of the year, even before the year, the goal was to fight for the title, to win the title. Am I surprised? No, not at all. That was the target, and there's no reason. We have a good enough team, a good enough lineup to win the title. That was clear since the start. So no, there's definitely no surprises about it. Are we surprised how strong WRT have been in the last few events? Yes. So that's been not ideal for us because they've done a better job. So we just have to make sure that this weekend we get. Well, we haven't even won a race, so we need to win this weekend, and hopefully that will take care of the championship. So that's ultimately the goal for us. There's no question about it, and that's kind of been the goal since the start of the season. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed indeed. And Sean, I know we can't talk too much about strategies, but what is your strategy going into this weekend? Who's starting?
We're just going down to dating, Rachel. That's it. All or nothing. Winner. That's it. No. It's a different race as well. Obviously, we have it's an 8-hour race instead of last week's 6. So tire allocation and weather. Obviously, we're starting at 2 now. 2 p.m. until 10 p.m. at night. So obviously it's a big change as well in how track temp is and how we're going to manage the tires. So it's obviously a big difference compared to last week. And then that obviously plays a lot in the strategy and the tire usage as well. So we're going to see a bit of differences in that. And without going through it, I think we're going to a similar lineup in terms of qualifying and start of the race. But again, nothing's confirmed until 30 minutes after quali. So, but yeah, it's a different beast to tackle, I guess. But again, like we said, we did our homework, and hopefully we did our homework better than the others.
And Tom, what do you guys? You're all mates. What do you all say to each other throughout the race to keep your confidence going and your focus and your motivation? Do you kind of each other?
We're constantly bigging each other up, Everyone's the best in the world. No, I mean, we're all close mates anyway. We've known each other for quite a long time now, so it makes things a lot easier to handle and to work together. And I think that's why we get, we've been very consistent over the year. We've generally got, very good results. We haven't had too many bad weeks. Well, we've only had really one off weekend, I would say, in Monza. So that makes our life a little bit easier. It's easier to, we know what each other wants from the car and stuff. And we know each other's strengths and weaknesses and so on. So we work around that. So it's really, we've got a good chemistry amongst us. And I think that, enables us to really perform at a good level, generally throughout the season. Yeah. So.
And Tom likes to be called babe before the start of the race. That's what.
Yeah, it's only a little weakness.
And my final question, Sean, what have you guys done in Bahrain? Like in my head, as you're all mates, you're all hang together for 14 days, or whatever it is, or maybe less. What have you done? Do you like Bahrain?
Yeah, Bahrain's it's always a nice place to go to, I think, and there's so many interesting things to do. And obviously, it was my birthday as well. So obviously we celebrated with nice dinner and seeing some beautiful things here. But I think more so, the goal is still to win a championship. So the birthday in between didn't really, you don't really know you need to have a good balance, let's say, of enjoyment and focus. But no, I think we did really well. It's not as good as the training time we did before Le Mans, but I would say it's right up there.
Brilliant. Well, look,
I mean,
good luck this weekend. Glad you celebrated your birthday in style, Sean, and thanks for talking to us today.
Thank you.
Nice. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sean and Tom there in Bahrain ahead of this weekend's race. Now let's move on to Formula One, and it continues to stage a recovery from the financial hit it took during last year's COVID-19 pandemic. Results for the third quarter of 2021 show that F1 earned 12% more revenue than in the same period last year, with an increase from $597 million to $668 million, while a $104 million loss was turned into an $80 million profit after the 10 teams had been paid their $338 million share. It's not bad. The numbers are up despite 10 races being held in the period between July and September last year due to the compressed calendar, and only 7 in 2021. F1 noted that its primary revenue increased in the third quarter primarily due to growth in race promotion revenue. Compared to the prior year, there were documented limitations on fan attendance. Now, the CEO of Alpine has said he's considering an organisational shake-up at the Formula One team for 2022 in a bid to ensure it makes the progress needed. While the squad attempts to achieve a 5th place in the Constructors' Championship this year, Laurent Rossi has made it clear its long-term ambitions are much greater and it needs to grow muscles if it's to move forward. Speaking exclusively to Motorsport.com, Rossi said that a third consecutive year of being 5th in the standings was not a level the team can be happy with long term, and it wants to be regularly winning races by 2024. He stressed the team has shown progress in recent years, moving from P9 to P5, but the ultimate goal is still to move up to P1. Alpine has been operating without an official team principal for this season, but Rossi also has not ruled out a change to the management structure, which includes himself, Executive Director Marcin Podgowski, and Racing Director Davide Brivio. Now, don't go anywhere. We have lots more from the world of motorsport, including Supercars driver David Reynolds is benched for failing to meet vaccination requirements, coming up here on Motorsport TV Live. Some great footages from down there years ago in the racing files. Now look out for season 3 coming this month on Motorsport TV. Nico Hulkenberg has today ruled out a move into IndyCar following his maiden test last month, citing personal reasons. The ex-Formula 1 driver recently took part in a test with the Arrow McLaren SP team at Barber Motorsports Park, completing more than 100 laps as he assessed a potential push for an IndyCar drive. Hulkenberg wrote on Twitter, "It was exciting to test an IndyCar 2 weeks ago, and I am grateful to Arrow McLaren SP for this opportunity. However, for personal reasons, I decided not to go ahead with it. Keep you posted on my future plans." The German has been without full-time race seat since losing his seat with Renault at the end of 2019. One IndyCar seat that has been decided today, and it's been announced Elvin Defrancesco will race the number 29 Andretti Autosport Honda in 2022. The Italian-Canadian driver, who scored 9 top 5 finishes in this year's Indy Lights Championship and finished 6th overall, performed impressively in his first 2 IndyCar tests with the Andretti Autosport team. He said he's excited to learn from his new teammates and plans to soak up the knowledge of teammates Colton Herta, Alex Rossi and Romain Grosjean. Already, Defrancesco paid tribute to Herta's guidance so far and added that his friend has provided some great benchmarks to work towards. The Supercars vaccination controversy has reached a conclusion, with David Reynolds benched for the remainder of Sydney Motorsport Park's set of events. Reynolds was found to have fallen short of vaccination requirements, and the Kelly Grove Racing driver will now be replaced by former Bathurst winner Luke Youlden for at least the next round this weekend. Motorsport.com's Australian editor Andrew Van Leeuwen spoke to me a little earlier to explain the story.
They aren't happy with the exemption. So he's had his first dose of the vaccine. That was a couple of days ago, but he now has to wait 3 weeks until he's double vaccinated before he can get into Sydney Motorsport Park. So that's basically ruled him out for the remainder of the Sydney swing. He won't take part in the next 3 weekends of racing at all. If all goes well and he can get his second dose of the vaccination in time, he should be able to return for the Bathurst 1000 in early December, which is the season ender. So that's at least a little bit of good news. But yeah, as it stands right now, he doesn't have the coverage required to enter Sydney Motorsport Park. He literally can't get into the track. So a remarkable set of circumstances. You know, it's become a big news story here in Australia, even in the mainstream media, because this is the first real test of vaccine mandates on professional sport. The fact that it's been dealt with reasonably swiftly, and the fact that the outcome is that the no jab, no play rule has been strictly enforced will be something welcomed by the rest of the Australian sporting landscape, I would think.
Andrew Van Leeuwen there talking to me earlier on today. And that's all for now. Head over to motorsport.com for more on all of today's top stories. I'm Rachel Downey. Join us again here on Motorsport TV Live for the latest news from the world of motorsport. Bye for now.